now this is it. Can obesity affect the health of the kidneys? Yes, it can. You know, there is a research study that showed that men and women who are overweight and obese are 3 to 4 times more likely to have a kidney or to need a kidney dialysis later in life. That is a well-proven research. And so, why is that so? Well, people that are obese have the tendency to need a kidney dialysis sometimes later in life. I mean, 3 to 4, times more likely. Okay, it could be because of 4 reasons. Number one, the fact is that when you are big and on the obese side, there is something we call visceral fat. That means the organs inside your body will have accumulated fat wrapping around them and compressing them, and that happens to the kidneys. The second thing is this: when you are on the bigger side, you give your kidneys other work to do, because now it has to deal with a bigger body structure. Another one is this: people that are obese usually have underlying health disorders like hypertension, like type 2 diabetes, and this leads to chronic kidney failure. And then the last, people that have the apple shape, that are bigger on the hop side, they usually have obesity related health disorders more than people that their obesity is around the hips. Remember that this obesity is all based on the BMI, 30 kilogram per meter square. Anything over or just 30, that means you're obese. So now, what can we now do now that we know the 4 things? The issue that, okay, you can form a weight on the kidneys with too much fat, the issue that you labor the kidney with too much work, the issue that, and all of that. What dietary measures can you take? I'm going to give us some few bits because we can't finish everything with our limited time. Number 1, your protein intakes. And I want us to listen carefully to this, especially people that are diabetic. There is this rush and war against carbohydrates, and people are rushing into proteins as if that is the lifeguard man. Now, what you do not know is that it is only growing children that should take 35% protein. Why? Because their brain is still developing. Tissues in their body is still developing. But when you're an adult and you're above 35 years old, your protein intake should be like 25% of your diet. So it means that if you're diabetic, you can't rush and be taking beans, and leave rice and leave the others. There should be a balance, because too much of beans, too much of peanuts. I'm very, very emphatic now. I mentioned granules. I mean, peanuts and beans, it labors your kidneys with nitrogenous waste. It gives you so much work to do. Another thing is beef, and we see that in our eateries. The plant, as much as we, encourage people to do more of animal proteins because of the biological value, you must understand that if you increase too much animal proteins, it will labor your kidneys, because the kidney handles nitrogenous waste. So when the size of your beef is bigger than the size of your rice, the size of your porridge, the size of that is a major issue. Your kidney, you're forcing that guy to go through a whole lot of stress. So we need to tone down, our protein intake. Remember, 25% when you're both 35 years old. But for growing children, oh boy, they can have a field day with their protein because the brain is still developing.